Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Jank 2.0. It has been a while since my last episode on this channel, about a month, and the reason for that is that I've been on an archaeological excavation. I was teaching a load of students how to excavate archaeology, so I've not been around to actually record any Minecraft. But I am back now. I finished all of that. I've got nothing major in the way from now until Christmas, and because it's been a while since my last episode, I thought this would be a really good opportunity to have a little recap. Tell you a bit what we're doing here, where we're at, what are the plans for the future. And that means that if you are new and you've not seen any of my videos before, this is a really good point to jump onto this wagon of Jank 2.0. So let's start with the basics. What is Jank 2.0? Jank 2.0 is an enormous dungeon crawler game that I've been making in survival vanilla Minecraft. It's a follow-up to Jank, which is the first iteration of it, which was loosely inspired by Decked Out, built by TangoTek on the Hermitcraft server, but it was very much its own thing. We ran a whole season of it last year. It was a lot of fun. People really enjoyed it, so I've been bringing it back, and it is much bigger. So I've got great plans for this season. Jank 2.0 is going to be themed around video games, and if we just pop over to my base, we can see some of the games that we're planning to include. We've got a level that's going to be about Jank, a second level which is Space Invaders / Pac-Man, a third level that's Assassin's Creed, a fourth level that's Skyrim, Super Mario, Call of Duty Zombies, Bejeweled, Stanley's Parable, and Chaos Games, which is just going to be an amalgamation of a lot of other games. So yeah, 9 levels, all very big and complex and full of redstone. And each level is going to have puzzles that players are going to have to solve, parkour they're going to have to do, mobs that are going to attack them. And this season we're really going hard on the theme, so every level is going to be mechanically unique. So this is the big master plan. As you can see, we're going to be building both in the overworld Nether and in the end. And over the last 6 months, I've been kind of doing a lot of prep work. So this base here, this is where all my farms are. We've got like a villager trading hall, we've got a wheat farm, we've got like dirt farms, we've got all kinds of farms here because Jank is obviously quite resource hungry. So I'm not going to go through all these different farms, but pretty much if there's a farm I need, I've either got it or I'm planning to build it. Now Jank is spread over, I said, 3 different dimensions. So if we go to where we were earlier, we can see the overworld part. Yeah, so this is the overworld location of Jank 2.0. If we go down here, you can see we've cleared out an enormous part of this world. It goes all the way down to bedrock, where we've got one level that we started building. This is the Call of Duty Zombies map. Wow, it's the very start of it. It obviously needs a lot more work, but it kind of gives a sense of scale of what we're dealing with here. Something else I've been working, and this is one of the main things I've been working while I've been away, is this thing here. So this is our entrance lobby. I have a plan I made in creative, which I am now slowly recreating in survival. So this is gonna look pretty cool once it's done. If you have a look at my previous videos, you can see kind of what the end product is gonna be. And I've been really hard at work over the last month trying to build this as fast as possible, and oh my god, it's been a long process. It is very complex and intricate, so although I'm using a schematic to follow to know where to put each block, you can see there's not like any surface that's like just flat and just one block. I'm constantly having to switch out from one block to the next block, and all the terracotta needs to be oriented the right way, and it's been a process, let's just say. So I think I'm probably around halfway there on this build. I think now I've got a bit more time. Give it 2 to 3 weeks and I should have this whole thing constructed. And this is essentially just the lobby area. This is where players enter to play Jank, and there's several rooms down here that will contain parts of Jank, like the entranceway and the storage area and the coin area. So what's happening in the other dimensions? So in previous episodes I've been clearing the Nether and breaking I can't remember how much bedrock, but like 100,000 blocks of bedrock, something like that. So if we go to the Nether, some stuff has changed even since my last video. You can see there's these big platforms in the sky, and the same is through down here, we've got big platforms in the massive void of the Nether. So these help me kind of identify which parts are for each level, so I don't kind of spill over. It keeps stuff a bit more sorted. But putting in these platforms has taken a very, very long time. But it is done. I'm happy to say that this is, again, something that's changed since the last episode. But we do have all the platforms in place in the Nether, which means you can actually start building in the Nether. Now, if you're new to the channel, you may be wondering, why is there this bedrock platform here in between two levels? This is going to be part of a level, specifically for the Space Invaders / Pac-Man level. I'll explain once we actually get to that level what we're doing, but essentially we're going to have TNT flying machines flying over here, dropping TNT on the players. So this is just to make sure that we don't destroy any important redstone. We are going to be returning to the Nether soon because I need to start building something in this section, but we'll get to that in a minute because we've still got the end to visit, and the end is kind of the black sheep of the levels because at the moment it's still in a bad shape. I've not done a lot of work here in the end. I've put out where the platforms are going to be. That's kind of the extent of the island. We need to get rid of all of the endstone, but I can do flying machines with that. That's not too much of an issue. The issue is these things here, the stupid end pillars. You can see I've been mining one out here, and I don't have any better solution than just mining out the end pillars by hand. And that is a nightmare. These are made out of obsidian. You can't use TNT on them or anything like that. I wish I could. So what I'm doing is manually going to be mining through all of these pillars. So this is something I'm going to keep on doing in the background between episodes, because let's be honest, nobody wants to see me just mine a load of obsidian. I'm sure I looked at those Endermen in the eyes, but good, they're not attacking me. This is kind of where we're at. So what's the next steps? I hear you ask in the comments below. Put it in the comments below. Ask me questions. I'm happy to answer. What I really want to start focusing on is level design. And the one I really want to focus on, and we're going to do a bit of work on it in this episode, in fact, is in the Nether. See, this level here, this is the Assassin's Creed level. And I think it's time to start setting out the foundations for our Assassin's Creed world. Because if we can get that done, we can start inviting people onto the server to give us a hand. But I'm jumping ahead. So first of all, I think let's grab some materials and actually start constructing the base of the level. Okay, materials acquired. We've got some blue wool, we've got some stone. As I said, this is just going to be a very, very rough outline just to kind of give us an idea of where things are going to be. So what we're going to be building is Venice, which is a setting of one of the iconic Assassin's Creed game. Third one, I want to say. Second one. It's the one with Ezio Auditore di Firenze, but we're not doing Firenze because I want to kind of have an underwater component to it. So I think Venice is going to be a much better choice for that. And talking about the underwater component, I'm going to start off by placing a big river. So we're not going to base this on Florence itself. This is more of a artistic interpretation. The first thing I want to do is I want to create a docks. And I think having some docks that then lead into a river is going to be pretty cool. Alrighty. So this is our little dock area. Let's just fly about and have a look. So yeah, not very big, but I mean, I say not very big, that is pretty big. So then from here we're going to have a river going through and kind of splitting off into different things. We want this to really snake around, I think. So maybe actually this part of the river fizzles out over here. And at the end of these roads and rivers and stuff, we're going to have like a fog effect, because that's kind of what you have in game, where the memory kind of desyncs. And then yep, then that opens up, and cool, then we just need to join these two sides together. Progress update time. I have added in a few more branches to this river, and if we have a little quick view with the free cam, you can see this is what it looks like now, and I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think there's a nice little area here in the middle which could be like a lot of houses close together. Same thing over here, and then this big area here can be where we have our big town square with our cathedral. So river is in place. Next step is to add in, I think just some roads, so we know where people are walking about. Cool, we want to make some nice bridges across the water. Okay, I think that's enough bridges. Yeah, yep. Ah, no, wait, there's this part here which is unconnected. So we definitely need a bridge over there. We don't want like proper straight lines, which is going to make it much harder to make buildings here, but I think it's going to look a lot nicer. Because I grew up in the south of Italy, and like the older town part, which is kind of the center, is like full of like all of these like little windy roads, and that's kind of feel I wanted to convey. Alrighty, we've got a few more roads coming in. These are going to be like dock areas, these things here, and then these are roads kind of leading to this central area with the square. Over here we're going to have our big square with a cathedral. So I guess that's the next part to add in. I think that's all the roads done. So I've left this area here. I'm not going to fill it in because there's not really much point. I'm going to replace it with like a big town square. So for now it can just stay as kind of this outline. And then we've got all these other roads. Oh, I just realized this bridge doesn't connect up. So I need to connect up that bridge. Then everything else kind of works, I think. I'm going to get some red wool and just make some outline of where the facade of buildings are going to go, because I'm actually not going to be making that. The various buildings in Venice are going to be constructed by other people. Now, what other people, you may be asking? Well, some of the players that I've played with before, who were in Jank Season 1 or I've been playing with other servers, have volunteered to help me out with some of the building. All these people are amazing builders, so I think having them contribute is going to be really elevate some of the levels in Jank, but also gives them a bit of a stake, you know, when they actually then run Jank and actually play Jank, they get to see their builds as part of this world. So that's the plan. I've started approaching all the different people, and we're going to be having them join from the next episode. But because of that, I need to make sure my instructions are clear. So I think adding a bit of red wool is going to be really useful to let them know where they need to build the structures. Right, I've placed a lot of wool, and this is kind of the outlines of the buildings. So if we have a little fly up, this is what we got now. So we don't actually need to like fill in the back of these buildings necessarily. We just need to do the front of them, except for the middle here, where each of this building will have a roof you can actually walk on. I've also worked out that this area here is where I'm going to put in the jumping down from a height and hitting an iron golem challenge that we designed really early on in the season. So this is a nice big area for it. So yes, I think the design for this level is complete for now. Next episode, we're going to be bringing in the people who are going to be helping us, and we're going to get them started on some of these buildings. I'm really excited to see what they're going to end up doing with them. I actually don't really know what the plan is. I want to give them a lot of freedom, and there's quite a lot of big structures to construct. I think I'm going to have 3 people building Venice, and then other people building other levels as we go. But that is all for next episode, so it's the end of this one. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.